In the world of philosophers, theologians, and mystics, when an anomaly appears in the form of an outstanding though unusual teacher, that individual is surely worth investigating. Around 700 years ago, a man was born near Gotha, in what is now Thuringia in central Germany, at a time when his homeland was part of the so-called Holy Roman Empire. Conditions in that 14th century Germany were eerily like modern times, with self-seeking politicians, escalating violence, religious institutions in decline, and fear about the future. But Eckhart von Hochheim, who came to be known as Meister or Master Eckhart, would prove to be a gleaming ray of hope, albeit one offering quite atypical spiritual advice. For though a Catholic Dominican priest, his teachings, which are attracting fresh attention these days, were far more aligned with Eastern Buddhism than European Christianity. So it's hardly surprising that later in life, he was called a heretic by a rival Catholic order's Inquisition, and eventually tried by Pope John XXII for his evil-sounding radical ideas. Fortunately for Meister Eckhart, it appears that he died of natural causes before the holy judges had decided his case, sparing this remarkable mystic barbaric torture and execution. His teachings fascinate and inspire many spiritual seekers today because they resonate profoundly with both Eastern philosophies, particularly Zen and Christian mysticism. Like that school of Buddhism, but unlike his local tradition, Eckhart emphasized the importance of personal, direct experience of the divine and connecting deeply with ultimate reality. Eckhart famously stated, "The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me." This closely mirrors Zen's emphasis on no separation between self and the universe. Europe's medieval church, with its powerful priesthood, business models of selling relics and indulgences, and strict dogma and ritual, was no great promoter of self-awareness. Yet in this same era there was Meister Eckhart in Germany, just like Zen masters of China and Japan, guiding disciples to develop self-awareness on a deeply individual basis. The parallels didn't end there. Zen taught Eastern practitioners to abandon attachments and assumptions using mind-defeating koans like, "What's the sound of one hand clapping?" Meister Eckhart expressed similar sentiments, urging individuals to release their grasp on rigid beliefs and to realize that divine nature lay beyond human concepts and labels. Eckhart believed that God resides within every individual, illuminates their divine spark, and is present in all aspects of life. Zen holds that enlightenment is inherent in every human. Zen, since its birth as Chan in China, had emphasized personal awakening through purging superficial distractions, outwitting the busy mind, and using focused meditation practices. Echoing this, Eckhart taught that true spiritual progress unfolds through internal awakening, attained through deep contemplation, self-reflection, and avoiding worldly diversions. True to its Buddhist roots, Zen taught that suffering is part of life, thus to be accepted without resistance. Eckhart wrote that to embrace suffering would bring transformation. Detachment is key to the teachings of both Zen and Meister Eckhart, which each emphasize that clinging to material desires enslaves, while shedding attachments brings clarity and peace. In another surprising alignment with Eastern ideas, Eckhart encouraged the quest to live in the present moment, insisting that true awareness of divine reality is only possible in the now. One of Zen's most essential tenets remains to simply focus on being fully present in any situation, which in itself presents the most universal and accessible gateway to enlightenment. To daily pursue presence through the power of silence is a recurrent Meister Eckhart theme, which again closely mirrors the focus on meditation found in Zen Buddhism. Eckhart saw silence as pivotal to seeking the divine, because the cultivation of quietude is foundational for truly understanding the great mysteries. similar to Zen scholarly reasoning that finding and accessing the ever-present silence is vital if one is to experience the knowing which goes far beyond narrowing words and thoughts. Trappist monk and author Thomas Merton studied Zen Buddhist teachings deeply and later realized why so many of them seemed strangely familiar. The teachings of Meister Eckhart. Merton even shared Eckhart's writings with his frequent correspondent, Japanese scholar D.T. Suzuki, who after studying them, pronounced Eckhart the one Zen thinker of the West. What enabled this surprising harmony between the realizations of Zen teachers in Asia and Meister Eckhart in Europe? The answer surely is that they both tapped the same source. This is itself a powerful insight. The fact that many of the great spiritual and self-development secrets gifted to our world, though consistent, arrived via diverse schools and voices. Meister Eckhart, once called a heretic, was utterly vindicated in 1965, when his own church's Vatican Council, voting 2,221 to 88, officially conceded that the Holy Spirit can be at work in Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, and other non-Christian religious traditions. Have you read any of Eckhart's works? Do you have a favorite saying or maxim? Please tell us in the comments and share, like, and subscribe for more Life Class surveys of fascinating teachers.
The similarities between many of Eckhart's teachings and Zen Buddhism are remarkable, and you can discover one of Zen's most accessible practices for yourself in our fascinating episode 10.